Good morning, everyone. Welcome. Diana Minotti with Diana Minotti Fine Art, Antiques, and Collectibles, and the show of Diana's Treasures. It's a day in the life of a estate appraiser and liquidator. I'm here at my husband Perry.
Good morning, Diana.
Perry runs the gallery, and of all the treasures that we don't sell at the estate sale, Perry then gets to sell them at the shop.
The fine art, antiques, and collectibles, as the sign says when you walk in. Yes.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
And our guests today, we have Arifa and John Akbari from Jacksonville. We've known each other a long time. They've been our premier rug dealer, and that we're going to discuss today all about Persian rugs, of what they are and their symbolism and how they're made. And we'll talk about conservation and restoration and a big show we're going to do together.
I'm really excited about this because people come in all the time and ask me about what the rug is, and I'm like, really, I have to say, I'm no expert whatsoever, so I have to really look at whatever notes you put on the computer. But I'm excited about what they could tell us with their expertise, their knowledge, and such. So it's really good to have you guys here today.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
Yeah.
for having us.
Well, we thank you for coming. I know it was a trip during rush hour, but
It was the traffic was not bad. Yeah.
It's hard to believe. Well, we're located at 15 Palm Harbor Village Way, right here in Palm Coast, Florida, right here, right below St. Augustine, above Daytona Beach. So if you're driving through on 95, plug it in, Diana Minotti Fine Art, Antiques, and Collectibles, and you could come by and see us. It's very easy to find, and we'll be happy to see you there. 10 to 5 Monday through Friday and 10 to 4 on Saturday.
it's dianafineart.com. And the exciting thing that we're promoting today is that John and Arifa are going to bring their rugs to the gallery, and we're going to have a rug show on Thursday and Friday from 10 to 4. So you'll be able to also meet them in person, and you can discuss all about your rugs and hopefully purchase a rug
Rug sale. You mean we're going to put
and have a rug show
a rug show? Oh, all
at the
right.
gallery.
Not just sell a couple of rugs. We're
No.
like really going to put it out there. Okay. Wow.
So before we get into all that, what I want to do is just give you a briefing of last week's show, last week's sale at the estate sale. It was the Artist's Den of Tropical Delights. Do you know we broke a record on views online, over
I couldn't
10,000?
believe it. It was what, 13,000
It was an
views?
incredible number.
I know we get views, but wow, that was really amazing.
It was
to
a
see
really
that.
it was a really great show. And so what didn't sell, and it wasn't much, but
Estate sale, not
what
just a show. Estate sale.
what did not sell is now at the gallery. Myra's probably unpacking it and putting it out, and Joe is listing it on eBay, and we infiltrated a couple items into this weekend sale. So that's at 20 Beckett. It's called Quality, and it's really wonderful furniture. Everything there is really good quality items. So that is this weekend sale, and those are the new arrivals at the gallery. So let's hop to it and get into our show for today. So Arifa and John, tell us, how did you get into rugs?
Uh, we are originally from Afghanistan.
Uh
And
huh.
Afghanistan, of course, is famous for its rugs.
Hmm.
So when she came to America, she started actually the business, here
in 1995.
in 1995, and ever since we have been busy with rugs. Yeah.
Very good.
Were you always here in Florida, or where did you go? Where did you start?
Jacksonville, Florida.
Always?
We have been always been here in Jacksonville, Florida. Yeah.
Wow.
And we started the business, and we imported the rugs from different countries, and in our inventory we have rugs. We have Turkish rugs, we have Pakistani rugs, Afghani rugs, Persian rugs, different kinds and different sizes, different colors of rugs.
So when someone comes in the store, oftentimes they say, "Do you have an Indian rug?" And I have to look and see if there's some type of insignia on there that would alert me as to whether it's Middle East or Persian versus Indian, China. So what? Tell us, how does the person tell? And you just said Turkish rugs and Persian rugs. What's the difference in the regional parts?
Actually, most rugs are kind of made the same depending on the design and the colors, Like having been dealt with rugs for a long time, you can tell if this is a Persian rug or if it is a Turkish rug, or if it's made in India. And other than that, most rugs are, kind of mostly made of wool on cotton.
And walls are different. Any country is different. Like Indian, you can tell this is Indian wool or Afghani wool.
I can
or
tell.
Persian.
I
Yeah,
could
yeah,
tell
yeah.
an Indian.
And the design and everything on the rug also, we can tell which one is Persian, which one is Afghani, and yeah, we know.
The Indian rugs, the designs aren't as
Um,
tight
Intense.
and
Thicker, yeah, yeah. You can tell this is Indian, and when you work with the rugs, you can tell, which one is the design is different.
so they're
Yes.
made of either 100% wool, cotton, or silk.
Yes, wools, cotton, and some of them silk. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Hand woven, hand knitted. What's the difference?
Basically, they are the same thing, because on all rugs you have knots. So when they say hand knotted, means it was knotted by hand and not by machine. And handmade would be probably the same thing, because again, hand knotted and handmade, both of them have to be done by hand.
Before we go any further, tell us where you are, where you're located, what's your address, and
We are in Jacksonville, Florida, and we have our rugs that we bring. We mostly store them in storages, and then some of our customers are in Jacksonville. We sell to rug shops, we sell to antique shops, and we sell to
Work with designer.
with designers, interior designers,
okay,
and
wow.
they get from us. Yeah.
So I think that most people, in fact, you should go get a rug so we can show the knots and how. When I look at a rug, and I'm nowhere near as an expert as you, but the first thing I do is I look at the back. I want to see how tight are the knots,
Right, right,
how well is it woven,
right.
and also I had one a couple of weeks ago, and the back of it was actually prettier than the front. I guess it was
Tight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think let them.
This one is really this part is a killam, and a killam is a type of rug. It's thinner than rug. This happens to be a rug, but it was cut and they made a pillowcase out of it. If you see on the other side, it has a zipper that you can fill in.
Yeah. Right here.
So
I think that what most people, if you want to just turn it over, is the designs. And when we're inspecting and we're doing our inventories, when we're taking in the rugs, and we're not the experts, but we're always writing down how many borders, how many medallions, what colors are there, and then we could do our research to figure out then what's the type of, is it a tribal rug, what region is it from, what country, what origin. This looks very, oh, that's beautiful.
this is called a cassack rug, this is a new rug, but it was a kind of reproduction of a cassack, which is a very antique rug, and was made in Caucasus. And as you see, the back kind of shows the knots, how many knots it has, And when talking about the knots in rugs, usually, they start from anywhere from 20 knots in a square inch up to 1,000 knots in a square inch. And of course, the more knots the rug has,
Wait,
the
wait.
more.
Let's talk about the borders. Let's talk about the symbols. So if I was to identify this, first of all, we also mention about the fringe, whether there's fringe or not. A lot of our customers are that we're working with, our clients, they're older and they've cut a lot of the fringe off, not to trip, or sometimes the fringe just gets
In the way,
vacuum.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
yeah, and
The vacuum, yeah.
yeah. So does that affect the value if they cut the fringe?
Not really, because the fringe is part of the loom, actually. So when the rug is done, depending on the rug, they could cut more of it or less of it. Like some of them have even no fringe at all.
So when I would be describing this rug, I see here there's a blue exterior border, and then we have a second interior border, and then a third and a fourth, and then this is your field with the medallions, and you have 3 central medallions. So what do these actual medallions mean? They all have meaning?
Well, actually,
Significance?
these are kind of geometric designs that they choose, just like in art, like in pictures. Every rug has a different design or a different.
But does this mean
way.
anything? Is
Some
this
of them
good luck
do
or-
mean some of them have a story with it. So each rug would have a different kind of story per se.
and I would think this is a newer rug
That is a
because of the
new rug.
color.
Right.
Like this blue,
Right.
you're not going to find in the antique rugs.
Right.
It's more of the
Right.
much deeper blue. So how are these colors actually made when they say that they're hand dyed, handmade dyes, as opposed to a synthetic commercial dye?
They use mostly vegetable dyes, on these rugs,
This one's so rich right
Uh,
here.
This feels like silk.
Yes, and the dyes are made from different vegetables, of course we have vegetables that have a lot of different colors.
Well, and it's just like
yeah.
paintings. If you
Exactly.
look at antique paintings, they
Yes.
didn't go to the store to and buy
Yeah.
paint.
Right.
They actually grounded up their own,
Exactly.
whether it was minerals or vegetables or fruits or whatever, and created their own concoction of paints. So
Same with rugs. Yeah.
I would think so.
Mhm,
This is
same with
beautiful. Look how tight that
this
is.
tightly woven, and this has more knots than the previous rug that you showed.
Oh
you
yeah,
know.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's very
Silk.
soft. This
Right.
feels like silk.
Yeah,
this
it
is
is.
silk.
Yeah.
And where is this from?
This is a Persian one. Yeah.
So Persia includes what countries?
Persian rugs are mostly from Iran that were brought to this country a long time ago.
And we had talked about that there was an embargo. So are these rugs hard to get?
These were probably brought long before the embargo. Yeah.
Which was what, the 80s?
Probably, yeah.
Now, I love this because it doesn't have you have your distinctive borders, 1, 2, 3, 4, but it doesn't have a central medallion. It's kind of
This is an all over, what they call it, the all over rug.
an all-over
Yeah.
rug. And the between the burgundies, I mean, it's just so rich. I love that. That's absolutely beautiful.
So are we already into show and tell? Is that what
We
we're
are
doing?
showing and telling.
Yeah.
We're bring another one. The I notice when I've gone to a customer's house and they'll say, "Oh, this has been in my family for forever. We've brought it from this house to that house." Because I think Persian rugs is not something you really get rid of. I mean, I think they really become tradition with a family. We talked about how if you have them in the house and there's sun, people have skylights, we have so much sunlight in Florida, that you had suggested that they turn the rugs and alternate it so it gets the even sun bleaching.
Right, like for every maybe once a year, or so they could get the same amount of traffic or sun that the other side got. You know.
I had a beautiful in the Tidelands. They had a
Yeah.
beautiful rug, and when we moved the furniture, it was two different colors.
Right.
It was that sun bleached. We had to throw it away. There was no saving this rug. I mean, it was night and day.
This one is really very soft.
This is wool.
Oh, that's
yeah.
wool. Yeah, it's very
all,
thick.
All wool. The French is wool,
Yeah.
and this is
The f-
the whole thing is wool. Yeah.
I've never seen anything like that. What do you call that?
This is mostly a tribal rug, made in Afghanistan. And as you see, it has a peacock, I believe,
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
Is that a
Yeah.
peacock?
Peacock,
Wow,
yeah.
I've never seen that. How
Yeah.
old is that?
This is new too. This
Is
is
it?
not that old. Yeah.
And you could tell because of the
Right.
coloring.
Because
Right.
of not use.
Yeah. Yeah. This is a new rug.
Yeah.
And when we say tribal rugs, different tribe like in Afghanistan or Pakistan, they have like Baluchi tribes or Taimani tribe, and they each have their different way of weaving, and different way of designs, and that's why it becomes a tribal. It goes to that particular tribe. Yeah.
And so are these tribes still nomadic? I mean, are they still?
Yeah, it's still in Afghanistan, Pakistan. They are still nomadic. They move from one place to another place. And sometimes even, so of course, if they are nomadic, they have to weave the rug inside the tent.
So then that would
Yeah.
create, how big can a rug be?
Right. And that's why some of the rugs that you see, because some of the tents might be too small, so the frame would be small. So if they want to make a bigger rug, not all the time, but sometimes they make part of it, half of it, in the tent, and when they are done with that half, then they go with the other half. And when they both are made, they stitch them together and becomes
So
one rug.
tell us about this rug.
This rug is called Uşak design. Uşak design is originally from Turkey, but this rug was made in Afghanistan too. And this is
wool
from
and
vegetable dye,
French is cotton.
cotton, yeah.
So who in the region has the best wool and cotton, and where do they get their wool and cotton from?
It's actually, each country has its best rugs, and each country has lower quality rugs per se, just like you are making cars in a country, and each country has their nice cars, much better cars than the other cars. So the same thing is, like each country would make their own nice cars and nice rugs. I mean, and the same they might have a lower
So
quality.
tell us a little bit about this stitching.
This stitching is your regular knots from the rugs, and as you see, this has a lot of not that too much of knots per square per square inch.
How do you? I always have. I like to use the rug as a sort of as that way of setting off the room, and so I always have furniture half on or half off, depending on the size of the rug. How do you protect the rug though from the chair legs and making those marks on them? Do you just use pads, or is there a way? Or
Yeah, it's better to have a padding underneath the rug.
oh,
It's
really?
good. It's good for the rug, and it's good for your wood or whatever underneath is.
Because the padding, what
And the
keeps it
padding-
structure.
Yeah, keeps it from not moving.
So that's the
Yeah,
wear and
yeah.
tear.
Yeah,
Right.
it's better for the rug also.
So Arifa, what do we have here?
And this one is Persian rug. It's made silk and wool together.
See, I
This
like
is
this.
a very
Yeah.
antique
I like the
rug.
silk rug.
This is a very antique rug.
Nice.
yeah.
Very antique. This
I'd
is
lay on this rug and watch
Yeah,
TV.
yeah.
It's nice.
Well, I know when I'm usually at a client's house, I take my shoe off and I put my foot on the rug and to feel it, to see.
Yeah, yeah.
You could tell, is this a good rug or
Yes,
not?
Yeah,
If it
yeah.
feels right.
You're right.
But can you believe it? Wool is very good for the for the feet.
For your feet.
For your feet.
They
It's
say
good
it's
to walk
it's
with
good to walk on the wall.
without the shoes. Yeah, yeah, on the top of the rug.
This
Yeah.
one has a very intricate design here. It's really
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And,
Yeah, I love this. This is very
silk
nice.
and wool together.
and it
Look,
has
the back
some
is nice. Look at the back.
pictures
Look at the
of
back. Sometimes you like
some
say,
birds.
which way does it go? I mean, so,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
how nice it is,
See, I've never had one with the bird. That's beautiful.
right?
Absolutely
We
beautiful.
have one more rug left,
Wait a
and
minute.
then
Well,
I have a show and tell.
all right, but you're rushing. Wait a minute,
I'm sorry.
because
It's
what I want to
exciting.
talk about though is the conservation of how do you treat your rugs as a, and then the restoration once there is an issue is how do you fix it. So conservation wise, I always tell my clients. I mean, I went to a lawyer's house one time and he had upstairs all of his rugs and they were all folded over and I was like, no, you gotta roll the rug
He's right.
so you
Never
don't
forget.
break the
Yeah,
fiber
yeah,
and
yeah.
isn't that a
It's
problem?
better to be rolled, and of course you said about restoration, like Arifa could fix rugs too, She
Yeah.
does repair rugs.
So you would just have like a small loom over the spot of where you have to repair? And
Yes, if it has hole or breaking the rug and I mean anything happened to the rug, I can fix it.
She would make
How
a
do you
loop.
how do you match the
Color?
colors?
Yeah, I
and-
know how to match the color. Yeah,
So you're dyeing your own
Right.
fabric? Oh wow.
yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
important.
That's an amazing skill right there. Wow. Well, we have one more really interesting rug.
No, especially since it's so tight. How do you get in there and
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the rug.
This
That's
is
the rug.
This design is called Bokhara.
Bokhara, that's
Bokhara,
it.
yes.
That's it.
Yes.
This is my absolute. Perry, this is what I wanted to get
Yeah.
for the family room in front of the fireplace.
Yeah, this
I
is,
love that. That is
yeah, and this
Design,
design
yeah,
is from
quintessential.
yeah,
Well, I like the feel.
Afghanistan mix it, Pakistan mix it,
Yeah.
and-
All wool.
Yeah,
this is
And,
all-
and what's the term again? What is it called?
Bokhara.
Bukhara.
Yeah, That is this particular design is always called Bokhara. Yeah, design.
So I did have a client that their book they had a red Bokhara and they had a flood and the rug was full of mold. They did have it restored. I was a little hesitant of buying it. Can you really fully restore after mold with a rug?
Depending on how badly it was damaged, sometimes they could, they could they could clean it good, and everything will be gone. But of course, as you said, some of them, unfortunately, comes to a situation that you have to throw it away. Yeah.
So when the carpet cleaner comes to the house and they're going to do rugs and tile, do you let them do your Persian rugs, or do you really recommend a professional?
professional.
Well, professional, we send it to professional cleaners. Yeah.
Because
Right,
I've seen
yeah.
it where, especially the red, more than anything,
Mm-hmm.
bleeds onto
Yeah.
the white.
Right.
Yeah.
And can you get that out once? if
Sometimes
the color
they
is-
get it. Sometimes it's impossible.
I'm going to put the rug down because, believe it or not, these things are heavy.
the I've noticed that, and I always stress with people really not to wash a rug unless you're going to bring it to a professional, because that's what I always see happen. It's all bled through. So I always tell them to vacuum on the front, flip it over, vacuum on the back, and just constantly vacuum,
Right.
because I think that's really best served in taking care of the rug.
You're right, Diana.
We can clean the rug also.
Yeah, we
we
take it to cleaners, and they clean.
Is this your show and tell item, Perry? This is from the
Yes.
gallery.
Yes, it's and Mark let us know. All right, so we do our show and tell, and we did earlier show
Why
and
don't you
tell
just
of all the
tell them about
rugs.
that?
So this is it says it's antique, so it's pretty old. Wooden carpet beaters. So is this similar to what they would be using in the in Persia to spot the rugs? So how do they clean them there besides vacuum?
Over there nowadays, they also have the same machinery that cleans and or washing by hands. They use the same methods that they use here, and like here now they have the cleaning places. They have machines that first they let the rug go through the machine and take the dust off. In other words,
Oh.
yeah, and then they will.
It's like going to the car wash. and
Yeah.
Drop your.
They first take the dust off and then they start cleaning it.
Well, all good things must come to an end. We have some great guests here today, so we have to thank Arifa and John for coming to Diana's Treasures and giving us their area of expertise, which I have to say this was very good now. At least now I know what I'm talking
You
about.
need
when
to look
people
at the
come.
rug books. I have lots of rug books.
I
that
know, you and your books. We got 9 libraries at the house, so I can't keep up with you.
and 9 desks.
And 9 desks.
So John and Arifa Akbari can be contacted directly at 904-472-3070. That's 904-472-3070. And if you want to send them an email or a picture of your rug or what you're looking for, it's M as in Mary, Z as in zebra, Akbari, AKBARI, at Comcast.net. So they will be at the gallery. What is Thursday's date? Is the
17, isn't it?
no. Thursday coming
Oh,
is
27.
Is that right?
Yeah. Friday 28.
Can't find the thing. Right. Thursday, I'll be at the gallery on the 27th, 10 to 4, and then they'll join us again on Friday, the 28th, from 10 to 4. So we'll have a rug show, and you're welcome to learn about rugs and talk some more, or bring your rug in and purchase a rug. Commission them to find the rug of your choice. A lot of people have very specific. I know they want to match their interior,
Sure, as far as the color and the size.
and whether you want cotton, you're
Right.
looking for wool,
Sure.
you want silk.
Light color and dark color, or,
again, I want to thank
any
you.
color.
Again, I want to thank you both for coming, and we'll see you next week at the store and the gallery and premiere your products there. Diana,
Thank you for having us.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Diana, you gotta tell us what's going on real quick.
All right.
Gotta
So
wrap it
just
up.
to wrap it up, the next monthly meeting for the Estate Planning Council is April 17th from 8:30 to 9:45. If you're a professional and would like to join us in anything having to do with estates, whether you're an accountant, an attorney, CPA, banker, any kind of service, we meet monthly. And this is the last call if you'd like to be my guest for PNC Bank. We are at Channelside, which is formerly the Palm Coast Yacht Club, on 1 Yacht Club Drive in Palm Coast. We're meeting on Wednesday, March 26th from 11:30 to 1. It's a lovely lunch, catered lunch by World Plate, and it is hosted by Fern Haley, the Senior Relationship Strategist of PNC Private Bank. And I'll be giving a presentation on today's current art market. If you'd love to come, we would love to have you. You can let me know or contact Fern, FERN .Haley, HAILEY, at PNC.com.
I have to tell you, if you've ever been to one of Diana's presentations, you're really in for a treat. So, please, if you can, give them a visit. Go check it out and listen and learn a lot of really detailed information. We're located at 15 Palm Harbor Village Way, right here in the great city of Palm Coast. and we love it here, Flagler County. So please give us a visit. Diana's Treasures here, and then over there it's Diana Minotti Fine Art, Antiques and Collectibles.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thanks
Thank you,
again.
John.
Thank you.
Thank you, Arifa.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, Mark. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mark.